To see not only how Xu Xin deals with the pressure, but it's just interesting to see Xu Xin play at 3. World #1. Fascinating dynamic here as Xu Xin gets us underway. Game 1. Unbelievable serves. Xu Xin, one of the best servers in the world. Left-handed too. Shields the ball there a little bit. Difficult for Patrick Franziska to see. But unusually, Xu Xin serves the second one into the net, so we're at 1-1.
The serve over the side of the table. Xu Xin lets the ball drop, tries to spin up the back of the ball, overhits it off the end of the table. First point for FRANZISKA. Xu Xin, of course, is a very good exponent of the reverse backhand topspin for the penhold grip player. Uses both sides of the racket. It's a new generation of penholders. There we see it. Using the backhand side of the racket, brushes up the back of the ball. The old traditional penholders just use one side of the racket, but you could see there on the slow motion, great example of the reverse backhand topspin. Xu Xin, Wang Hao, who's sitting on the bench, not playing in this final. Marlin, all penhold grip players, but now all playing with the reverse backhand.
I covered the match yesterday, guys, the semi-final between China and Chinese Taipei, and I have to say, I thought Xu Xin was the man with an unbelievable desire. It's been a while since I've seen him clench the fist so much. Even when he's just playing the singles for himself, I've seen him really fired up here for his team in Tokyo.
Clearly, he feels responsibility as the #1 player in the world. And there's Zhang Jike on the bench. He'll be reflecting on his defeat, but I've no doubt he'll be getting his mind ready for if he's required to come on the table at 2-2. What a finale that would be, but we're a long, long way away from there yet. And this first game in its early stages, but it's a steady start, a good start by FRANZISKA. 3 points each, but a well-placed topspin by Xu Xin into the body of the German player. Again, maybe the serve just drifting slightly long.
I think he wanted to do this down the line on purpose long. Patrick Franziska is known from time to time to play this extra long service, but Xu Xin was ready. Good reaction from him.
The topspin rally, and not many people can take on Xu Xin from that sort of length of the table. A maestro away from the table at the counter topspin. So physical, so powerful on the forehand.
And so high bow, so much spin inside. Whenever you move to these balls, you have to lift your hand. Patrick Franziska was dropping down a bit. That's the reason why he missed.
Oh, great. Great play by Xu Xin, but Franziska was superb there. That's the one. I think that went round the net. I'm not sure it even went over the net. Let's have a look on the replay. It did. It went round the edge of the net post. Such was the side spin that was being imparted by both players. Brave to take Xu Xin topspin to topspin away from the table, but he won the point. Popped the return up there. A little bit more. Topspin on the serve, came underneath it, lifted it, and Xu Xin with a well-placed forehand topspin into the body of FRANZISKA.
Victor Ma on Twitter asking who has the advantage in the loop-to-loop rallies. Well, it's one loop-to-loop rally each, but Xu Xin is the master. Look at the team there up on their feet.
I mean, they also feel the tension of this game. It's so crucial that you have this 2-1 lead.
Backhand topspin, return.
Oh, nice to be able to see it in slow-mo.
You can see there how much wrist is going into that banana action return.
I mean, we shouldn't forget that also Xu Xin has not too much experience to play in the team events. 2012, it was very much Wang Hao who take over this position. So it's also a crucial situation for him.
Oh. Good receive. That's a good sequence from Patrick Franziska. Again, pushes Xu Xin away from the table. And he's holding his own here in the loop-to-loop rallies, which is fantastic.
Especially when you make Suksin move to the deep forehand, and then Patrick Franziska is the one to be a little bit closer to the table. Then he can keep on going the rallies with him.
The return again wasn't great from Franziska, but he did incredibly well to get back into the rally. But that backhand topspin, it was the right idea. Nothing to lose when you're in that situation. Caught the top of the bat, flew off the table. Zhu Jin now leads 9-5. 5 game points for China. And the flick goes off the end of the table. And Zhu Jin, China takes the first game, 11 points to 5.
Back at it though.
Second game.
You were saying in the break, Richard, it was the returns of Zhu Jin short that's causing the problems right now.
Very good work Suksin showed here, this short game. Patrick Franziska is good in this short game, but Suksin was just so dominant.
Left. Level.
Especially after his own service.
Serve drifted a little bit long. Zhu Jin got in first, but Franziska did well. He gave himself a good chance to take the point.
The question is whether Patrick Franziska is able to avoid this, to play the game against Suksin too much to the backhand side.
Just keeps it down the backhand. And then one into the body.
Could have played forehand there, Patrick Franziska.
And then again, how he trying to catch up with, how he's trying to build up this rally. It was, again, too much first ball in the backhand. Sometimes to play with backhand cross, with his forehand down the line, to make Suksin move out of his backhand half.
Wonderful standard of table tennis, though, in this men's team final.
The reverse backhand topspin there from Zhu Jin used to great effect down the line. A lot of wrist, a lot of topspin.
Not that powerful in comparison to Wang Hao's backhand topspin. A little bit more nearly side spin inside, but difficult to react on that ball.
Strong start by Zhu Jin. An indication on timeout for Team Germany. Doesn't want this game to really slide away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, massive advantage for Zhu Jin.
Because once Suksin is up 2-0, I think also with, if you compare Franziska and Suksin, then it's for Patrick Franziska really difficult to get this extra flow. Franziska is more of this kind of player who's relying, as I said, on this short game, on the first good placement. Not this kind of guy like Dmitry Ovcharov, who's really like going to the flow, many backhand and forehand topspin. He's a little bit more the master of the small points. And at this moment, he found actually his master. Suksin is simply in these little things more advanced, maybe also a bit more experienced altogether.
I think the timeout was absolutely right. The momentum massively with Zhu Jin, but I'm not sure, even with Jörg Roskopf in the corner, that we can turn this one round. Zhu Jin just looks really fired up. He's #1 in the world. He's playing well.
And he's got some momentum as well, Don.
He certainly has, Johnny.
Love 4.
Let's watch the receive here.
Good idea to place this flick down the line. You see the way Xin was moving. He was already on the way deep to the backhand. I think that would have been a point.
Again, very quick there with his reaction, Zhu Jin. The reverse backhand topspin, throws it up, and the block off the end of the table, as we saw there on the replay.
And Wang Hao coming off the bench there too to stand up and clap Xu Xin. Of course, Wang Hao, 3 times Olympic silver singles medalist, could be close to retirement, but playing an active role in supporting his team here.
You can see there the clenched fist, the scream of delight. And that's at 6-love. This is massive for Zhu Jin. He's not taking the pressure off at all.
Just clipped the edge there.
1-8.
And I think you spotted the sweat on the brow of Lu Guliang, Don, within the break. I think he'll be feeling a little bit more relaxed now.
On the other hand, this is really this game, this overall game, or this overall match that the Chinese team has to take. I mean, if they are back 2-1, then long time they didn't have been back in a team match like this. So this is the match they have to win.
It's an expression I haven't seen too often on the face of Xu Xin, a little bit of confusion. Just shows how much he wants it. Leads 8-2, wants every point here.
Play, please.
Umpire asking Zhu Jin to play. Umpire's doing a good job here, keeping play.
9-2.
But again, the spin from Zhu Jin up the back of the ball. Not a lot of pace. Good variation of speed and spin, winning quite a few points for him. 9-2.
If this game does go the way of Xu Xin, which it looks as if it may do, guys, you've both coached at this level. What can you say to a young Patrick Franziska who's played so well? He's still a man for the future. He's in the middle of a world final. It's 1-1 and he's finding it tough. What do you guys say to him?
Well, Don, you first, please.
Well, I think I'd be telling him to enjoy the experience. It's a massive stage. He's playing the #1 player in the world. He's nothing to lose. Try and be positive. Try and go for your shots. Try and get him with the first strong top spin. Be brave. Take your chances.
Exactly, and then maybe I would also go in this direction. He has so much trouble in receiving the service, right? So it would be an idea to put a little bit more himself to the middle in order to start serving, returning a little bit more with the backhand. That would be an idea. So one more time, shortly speak about service return. So it would be an option for Patrick Franziska to move with the backhand a little bit more in the middle. So in order, he's changing the angle and sees a little bit more the moment when Xin is touching the ball. Might be an option in order to execute more the banana flip, not only the forehand return.
Zhu Jin starts how he's finished off. Look at him, running around the court, fist is clenched.
He gives you nothing, Don.
Topspin, absolutely.
No breathing space. Franziska. Nice counter topspin.
Yeah.
He's been struggling with that one.
And this time, this was, I think, the first counter topspin Patrick Franziska hit. The topspin of Xu Xin is not jumping too high. He keeps always a little bit low. Difficult to find the angle. This time he did well.
That was down, hit the side of the table. Well spotted by the umpire. Just watch it here, it hits the, and it immediately drops as it hits the table, which is indicative that it's hit the side of the table as opposed to the edge.
And it's matches like these now, games, moments like this, where you just need to get a bit of breathing space and a little bit of respite.
Adam Chahara again, the newly elected chairman, former president of the ITTF. He'll be delighted with this.
It's a good spectacle for world table tennis, a great show, really competitive.
Lots of teams now entering here. Very, very popular worldwide table tennis. The next challenge for table tennis is to get a few more teams like Germany and Japan who can push the Chinese.
And this, I think, was good placement from Patrick Franziska, but you see how nicely execute this counter topspin. Xu Xin let the head of the racket drop. She could do, you see this, so much side spin. It's so difficult to follow after. It was not like a counter topspin, but a counter side spin. Difficult to do.
Incredible. Incredible speed, spin, power. The footwork of Xu Xin. 3 balls, he covered the whole court to keep the pressure on his German opponent.
Then also from the playing style, it's not only about the footwork, but it's also about he can really even stretch his arm a bit longer, and not so many players have still feeling if they stretch the arm nearly to the longest point. But Xu Xin has this, even the arm is really 100% long, he can really make use of his wrist very nicely.
4-2, Xu Xin in the lead. And you can see how much it means to the world number 1.
That's a good, well-constructed point from Franziska. Maybe it's a bit slower into that backhand. Like we said earlier in the previous matches, parallel balls. Look how it pops up, gives him the chance to accelerate. Well played.
Worth a try from Franziska.
It's worth a try, but then again, you see, you compare these two players. Whenever Patrick Franziska is putting the position a bit far away from the table, this spin-spin situation, and you compare him to Xu Xin, then you see really the difference. The footwork is something Patrick Franziska has to work on, but we shouldn't forget he's only 21 years old.
Absolutely, and having a fantastic tournament.
Left. 5-3.
Again, it's this question of the free arm and moving the free arm away before the bat makes contact with the ball. Backspin on the service. And there we have Marlon preparing for his next visit to the table for the 4th match. Meanwhile, the 3rd match, 2-0 in games for Xu Xin, 6-3 in points.
The second time, the backhand topspin down the line is working. I mean, we've mentioned on this backhand reverse topspin, for sure it's not a bad ball from Xu Xin, and he has improved this ball, but in compare him to Wang Hao, it's still a ball I think he's trying to avoid. He has to still work on that. He prefers to come with forehand whenever he has the chance to.
He was looking quite relaxed in that rally. He was taking the ball nice and high, nice and early. That one was a great ball. And that one. But just knows the pressure of Xu Xin. Thinks he has to put that little bit more effort in. Makes the error. 7-4 Xu Xin. Is he closing in on a victory here?
Good short play there. You've mentioned, Richard, how strong Franziska is in that scenario, touching the ball tight. He's now demonstrating that. But maybe a bit too late, I don't know.
Yeah, but like he's catching up a bit more, I feel. It's like not that unbelievable. This dominance is still around, but he's catching up, trying to be close. Let's see what he can do now when receiving.
The return was a little bit high. He came underneath the ball, he pushed. Perhaps better to take the flick on. There it pops up. And Zhu Jin pounces on that with that forehand flick. 8-5. Second serve in the sequence of 2 coming up. And a little bit of side spin. Zhu Jin now leading 9-5. FRANZISKA with his 2 serves to come. He certainly needs these 2 points. Otherwise, we'll have Zhu Jin serving at 10-6. He has to win them both. And that's the first one.
Yeah. And this time it was good. This short ball. Zhu Jin was expecting before the ball to get out half long. He was a little bit late for this second ball shot. Ball was skipping out higher. And then FRANZISKA came with a good, powerful backhand topspin. That's usually how FRANZISKA very often is building up the game. Remember also yesterday against Kenta Matsudera, this short to forehand, this having a very, very good eye. But Zhu Jin, it's still like another player. And I'm sure FRANZISKA is gaining some extra experience out of this game. Maybe he has a chance to come back. We have seen so often change the momentum. But now it's tough. It's really tough situation for FRANZISKA.
But it's very interesting what you said, Richard, and I agree that FRANZISKA is playing better now. He's clawing his way back into this match. And quite clearly, Liu Guliang now, timeout.
Yeah,
directly. Slight momentum change, maybe. I sense that as well.
And he's known for taking this, let's say, quite early timeouts, but to have like quite aggressive way of taking the timeout. Same as Dmitry Ovtcharov actually is doing. We see Dmitry Ovtcharov very often taking the timeout already in the first game.
Fascinating stuff here. As both players have had their advice, it's advantage Zhu Jin. FRANZISKA, though, has one more serve of his 2 sequence.
Oh, good serve. In with a strong topspin. That's just what he needed. 2 points with his 2 serves. He now has the problem of facing the Zhu Jin service. And Liu Guliang there. Come on, come on. We don't need an interpreter for that. Encouraging Zhu Jin.
2 serves for him as well here. Strong position.
He touched. He just caught the edge of the table.
A smile from Zhu Jin. Is the pressure there now telling here at the end of this 3rd game? He does lead 2 games to 0. He still has the advantage. What serve will he throw in here? Will he go long? Will he go short?
Short with no spin. He'll look for the push.
I would bet on that.
And he's in.
Got a crystal ball there, Mr. Parker. Wonderful serve. Bullet of a forehand right down the middle gives himself now 2 match points to take China into a 2-1 lead here in the Zhengzhou World Team Table Tennis Championships men's team final.
A great effort by FRANZISKA in this 3rd game, and it's not over yet for him. It is now.
Again, it's the reverse backhand. It's Zhu Jin as he points to his shirt. That reverse backhand caused trouble all game.
Yeah, definitely, and especially in the service return, like I would call this the reverse backhand flick. That's really one shot Zhu Jin improved. And, well, FRANZISKA was trying hard. The 3rd game especially, he really found the rhythm. But altogether, I think Zhu Jin improved, the more dominant player altogether. And it's 2-1 for China now.